Let's dive into the drama brewing between Ryan Garcia and Jake Paul. If you've followed these two, you know it wasn't always this way. In fact, Ryan Garcia was the one who introduced Jake to boxing. Before the internet beef and viral call-outs, Ryan was the guy helping Jake take his first steps in the sport. So how did that happen? Ryan, already a rising star in boxing, saw potential in Jake. He thought, why not help him out and bring him into the ring? They spent hours training together with Ryan's dad, Henry Garcia, who's been a huge influence on Ryan's career, guiding Jake along as well. And it wasn't just the Garcias. Mike Tyson himself would sometimes drop by to give Jake pointers. Imagine that. Jake Paul getting tips from Iron Mike. But as time went on, Ryan started feeling some regret. He felt he had played a major role in Jake's rise, yet wasn't getting any credit for it. Ryan couldn't shake the feeling that he had a hand in building Jake's boxing career, and now Jake was acting like he'd done it all on his own. That sense of betrayal didn't stay quiet. It began to bubble up into full-blown frustration. If you've been on social media lately, you've likely seen the tension escalate. What began as private grumbling between the two has now turned into open shots both online and in interviews. Ryan Garcia and Jake Paul's feud has been both literal and all over Twitter. Ryan called out Jake for acting like a self-made boxing genius when, in reality, it was Ryan who helped get him started. Jake fired back, mocking Ryan for not using his platform the way he had. What began as a little tension quickly spiraled into a full-on online feud, with each taking public jabs at every opportunity. But here's where it gets even juicier. The drama between Ryan and Jake takes a major turn when Jake announces he's going to fight none other than Mike Tyson. The Mike Tyson, the former powerhouse of the ring, now 58 years old. While some see it as a circus for money and views, Ryan isn't laughing. For him, this fight isn't just some random matchup, it's personal. Tyson isn't just a boxing legend to Ryan, he's family. For years, Mike Tyson has been like a mentor to Ryan, guiding him in both boxing and life. So, when Ryan hears that Jake Paul, the guy he already has serious beef with, is about to step into the ring with Tyson, you can bet his blood is boiling. And let's be real, boxing purists and fans of the sport are absolutely losing it over this fight. They're thinking, wait, Mike Tyson? The guy who used to knock everyone out in his prime? Seeing him step into the ring with Jake Paul is enough to shake things up in a way no one saw coming. For many, the idea of Jake Paul fighting Mike Tyson feels like a joke, and it's hard to blame them. Tyson, now 58, is obviously not the fighter he was in his prime. Still, he's Mike Tyson, the guy who could have flattened someone like Jake in seconds back in the day. But here we are. For Ryan Garcia, this isn't just a questionable matchup, it's a slap in the face to Tyson's legacy. You can imagine the pressure Ryan's feeling. He doesn't want to watch his mentor get disrespected in the ring. Instead, he's determined to make things right. If Jake actually manages to beat Tyson, which is almost unthinkable, Ryan has made it clear that he's ready to step up and take Jake on himself. As he put it, if Jake beats Tyson, I'll finish him. I put that on my mama. Ryan isn't holding back. His loyalty to Tyson runs deep, and he's willing to risk it all to defend Tyson's honor. So why is Ryan so fired up to take on Jake Paul if it comes to that? It's not just about the bad blood between them, it's about respect. Ryan feels like he's the one who introduced Jake to the boxing world, only to watch Jake turn his back on him. While Ryan has worked his entire life to reach his current status, Jake, let's be real, got famous on social media first and entered boxing later for the spectacle. To Ryan, this fight represents everything he's worked for, and he's not about to let Jake disrespect that. Ryan Garcia has spent years training, perfecting his skills and proving himself in the ring. Jake Paul? Not so much. Yet Jake has managed to sell out arenas, score massive paydays, and rack up millions of social media views, while Ryan's still grinding to earn the recognition he feels he deserves. Ryan's frustration has morphed into a need to show Jake that boxing is no joke. It's a sport of discipline, and you don't just walk in and claim the spotlight without paying your dues. And for Ryan, the best way to make that point is by shutting Jake down in front of the world. Then, on June 15, 2023, the boxing world was rocked when Ryan Garcia tested positive for osterine, a selective androgen receptor modulator, SARM, banned in professional sports. The news shocked fans and critics who struggled to reconcile King Rye's clean-cut image with a doping scandal. For Ryan, it was a nightmare, not just because of the suspension, but because of the backlash from the boxing community. Headlines labeled him a cheater, tarnishing his reputation overnight. But Ryan wasn't going down without a fight. He strongly denied the allegations, claiming he was set up. Speaking on ESPN's First Take just 2 days after the news broke, he said, "There's no way I would never jeopardize my career or reputation. Someone's trying to take me down," Ryan Garcia said, responding to the bombshell. His team quickly released statements suggesting the banned substance osterine had entered his system through contaminated supplements, though they offered no concrete proof. This only added fuel to the fire as critics began questioning if Garcia was dodging accountability. And here's where things got interesting. Jake Paul was one of the few voices who came to Ryan's defense. During a July 2023 appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience, Jake surprised everyone by calling out the media for overreacting. Why would Ryan take steroids before a fight? It doesn't even make sense. He's one of the most talented boxers out there, with or without them, Jake argued. His words were unexpected, given their rocky history, but they resonated with fans who felt Ryan might have been a victim of circumstance. However, this rare show of support didn't last long. As their rivalry heated up again in late 2023, Jake started bringing up the scandal in less than subtle ways. In a biting Instagram story from October 10th, Jake commented, "A cheater will always look for shortcuts. That's why Ryan's scared to fight me." For Ryan, this was a turning point. He clapped back on Twitter, saying, "Funny how the same guy who defended me is now weaponizing lies. Jake, you're the real cheater in life." Jake's initial defense and subsequent attacks only added layers of tension to their feud. For Ryan, the scandal had morphed into more than just an assault on his character. It had become ammunition for Jake to question his legitimacy as a fighter. Meanwhile, fans didn't miss the irony, as Jake himself has faced accusations of using performance-enhancing drugs. By November 2023, steroid jabs between Jake Paul and Ryan Garcia were dominating press conferences, fueling their already heated rivalry and making their potential January fight intensely personal. Jake Paul's transformation from YouTube prankster to boxing's most polarizing figure is a story that could only happen in the social media age. Back in 2018, Jake was known more for his wild antics, like staging fake pranks and stirring up drama with influencers, than for anything athletic. But that all changed in 2020, when he stepped into the ring and knocked out retired NBA player Nate Robinson in just 2 rounds. The fight went viral, racking up millions of views and turning Jake into an overnight boxing sensation. Here's the twist. Ryan Garcia played a key role in Jake's journey. In a January 2021 interview with DAZN, Ryan revealed he'd been encouraging Jake to take boxing seriously since 2019. "I told him, if you commit to this, you can make waves," Ryan said. At the time, it seemed like friendly advice from a rising star to a novice. But as Jake's profile skyrocketed, Ryan started second-guessing that decision. By 2022, Jake had fought and defeated names like Tyron Woodley and Anderson Silva, transforming himself into a legitimate force, and in Ryan's eyes, a rival he never intended to create. Jake Paul's win over Anderson Silva proved he wasn't just a sideshow but a legitimate contender, at least to his fans. But for purists like Ryan Garcia, Jake's success felt like a mockery of the sport. In December 2022, Ryan told Sports Illustrated, "I regret introducing him to boxing. This isn't what the sport is about." What frustrated Ryan even more was Jake's unmatched ability to market himself. While Ryan has built his over 10 million Instagram followers through years of hard work in the ring, Jake has turned controversy into currency, using brash trash-talking, elaborate fight promotions, and viral post-fight celebrations to keep the spotlight on himself. With Ryan's recent suspension over the Osterine scandal, there's speculation that their potential fight could be an exhibition rather than a professional bout. While that might lower the official stakes, the intensity between them means it won't feel like a friendly sparring session. Exhibition or not, both fighters have everything to lose. For Jake Paul, the stakes couldn't be higher. If he loses to Ryan Garcia, his credibility as a boxer could crumble. Critics already love to dismiss him as just a YouTube boxer, and a loss to Garcia could cement that label, potentially ending his journey to being taken seriously in the sport. A loss to Ryan Garcia wouldn't just dent Jake Paul's record, it could solidify the YouTube boxer label he's trying to escape. Though Jake's made millions from boxing, he's playing for legacy now. A defeat could derail his dreams of being taken seriously as a legitimate fighter, and close doors on future big-money matchups. For Ryan, the stakes are equally high. He has the experience and skills to win, but losing to Jake Paul would be a massive blow. It's one thing to lose to a champion like Gervonta Davis, but Jake? That's a loss that would haunt him. Ryan knows he's risking his reputation, but he's ready to take the gamble to shut Jake down once and for all. This fight could also redefine influencer boxing. Love him or hate him, Jake Paul has brought major attention to the sport, blending traditional boxing with the influencer world and forcing purists to take notice. A fight between Jake Paul and Ryan Garcia could be one of the biggest spectacles yet, drawing millions of viewers and reshaping how people see crossover boxing. If done right, it could even bridge the gap between purist fans and casual viewers. Social media is buzzing with debates. Jake's fans believe his size and power will overwhelm Ryan, while Garcia's supporters are confident his skill and experience will prevail. This division only fueled the hype, making this matchup one of the most anticipated in years. What happens if they fight in January? It could be a career-defining moment for both fighters, with the potential to impact the boxing landscape forever. One thing's certain: the world will be watching.